All right, welcome to Swish and Tell, where we cover top stories over the last week from the peachbasket.net. Let's dive right in. Marcus, we've seen some blockbuster trades over the years, but this one, the Mavericks dealing Luka Dončić to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. This is seismic. I mean, Luka is arguably the face of the next generation in the NBA. What does this trade say about where Dallas sees itself right now?
Man, Eric, this is wild. You're telling me a guy like Luka, a walking triple-double machine, the dude who just brought Dallas to the finals last year, he's getting shipped out? Like what? But honestly, I think it's all about Dallas saying, look, defense wins championships. Anthony Davis brings that elite defensive presence Dallas has lacked, even though Luka's going to be missed. Badly missed.
Exactly. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison pointed to defense as the driving factor. And when you think about AD's ability to anchor a team defensively, you can see the logic. But here's the rub. You're trading a 25-year-old already a global superstar, and I mean, some would call him the future face of the league, for a guy who's 31 and already has a track record of injuries. That's a gamble, no question about it.
Oh, it's a huge gamble. And let's talk about Luka for a sec. The man is special, like Magic Johnson meets Larry Bird kind of special. But, there have been rumblings, conditioning concerns, defensive lapses, all that jazz. And I gotta say, if Luka doesn't tighten up, especially with LeBron mentoring him, the Lakers' bet on him could backfire big time.
Interesting point, Marcus. LeBron could be pivotal here. Luka idolized him growing up in Slovenia, and LeBron is the ultimate professional when it comes to caring for his body and extending his prime. If Luka picks up even half those habits, that could be transformative for him and the Lakers moving forward.
Right. But let me throw this out there. Can two ball-dominant guys like Luka and LeBron really make it work? Luka's not exactly known for off-ball movement, you feel me?
I do. And this is where J.J. Redick's system will be critical. For the Lakers to contend, they'll need Luka to adapt, especially defensively. Let's face it, this team isn't built for lockdown defense right now, and Luka hasn't been known as a defensive asset. That puts a lot of pressure on J.J. to make all these pieces fit.
Pressure's the right word. And man, the weight on Luka's shoulders, it's heavier than James Harden trying to get downhill on two defenders. Seriously though, if Luka's defensive liabilities stay as they are, teams are just going to pick on him, right? And it ain't 2K. You can't just trade for AD and say, we good now.
True, Marcus. Now, think about the historical angle. Franchise-changing trades like this, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Lakers in the 70s, or even LeBron's move to Miami, they've often redefined team identities. Dallas is steering firmly into a defense-first approach, while the Lakers chase a unique hybrid, developing Luka long-term while also keeping an aging LeBron. It's balancing the future and now.
Yeah, it's wild. Because like you said, teams don't just recover from trading away the next big thing, especially when Luka's only 25. This is franchise-altering stuff.
Which brings us to legacy building, Marcus. A move like this could cement or unravel the reputations of these GMs, Nico Harrison in Dallas, Rob Pelinka in Los Angeles. Both are taking calculated risks, but the ripple effects for the league, they'll be massive. And these two teams are polar opposites in how they're defining their futures. It's fascinating.
Crazy fascinating. The Mavericks are basically betting on defense, while the Lakers are doubling down on offense. But man, Eric, do you think Luka can really transform into the Lakers' centerpiece post-LeBron? That's the million-dollar question. All right, Eric, speaking of young stars and their legacies, let's pivot for a second to LaMelo Ball. Here's a guy putting up 28.2 points per game, grabbing 5 boards, throwing out over 7 assists, and somehow he gets snubbed from the All-Star team? Like, come on, how'd that happen?
Yeah, Marcus, it's surprising. LaMelo leads Eastern Conference guards in fan voting, yet he's left off? It just goes to show how much team success impacts All-Star selection. The Hornets are just 12-32. As incredible as LaMelo is, the team's record held him back. That raises a question, though. Is this kind of selection criteria flawed?
Definitely flawed, man. The All-Star game is supposed to showcase the league's best talent, right? But instead, it's becoming this weird popularity contest mixed with team records. Like, it's not the finals. LaMelo's the kind of player fans want to see. Highlight passes, step-back threes, flair on offense, you name it. And he's carrying this team.
No doubt, Marcus. His numbers are elite, but his efficiency has been a question mark. Shooting just 41% from the field and 33% from three, those are tough for voters to overlook. At the same time, though, He's playing under constant double teams. The Hornets rely on him for everything offensively. It's not like there's a supporting cast to pick up the slack.
Exactly, and that's what makes all this trade LaMelo talk so crazy to me. Dude's only 23, putting up franchise-level stats. Why not build around him? I mean, Charlotte fans love this guy. He sells jerseys, sells tickets. He's a vibe for the city. Trading him? That's like tearing up the foundation you're trying to stand on.
That's the argument. To build around him. But let's look at the other side for a moment. Injuries have been an issue. He's missed a significant number of games over the last few seasons. And let's not ignore the bigger question here. What does Charlotte gain by holding onto him if the rest of the roster isn't competitive? Trading him now could bring back a package of draft picks and young players, jump-starting a rebuild.
Yeah, but rebuilds aren't guarantees, Eric. You trade a star like LaMelo, you're basically crossing your fingers and hoping one of those picks turns into another, well, LaMelo. And good luck keeping the fans on board while you're losing even more games. That's a tough sell in Charlotte.
It is, and that's why the Magic rumors are intriguing. Orlando has the young talent and draft picks to make a compelling offer. Imagine LaMelo playing alongside their strong defensive core. He'd instantly transform their offense.
Whoa, wait. You're talking about sending LaMelo to the Magic? That sounds scary good for them, but brutal for Hornets fans. Like, imagine being a Charlotte fan and hearing your franchise guy just got shipped out for potential. The optics on that? Not great.
Agreed. Hornets fans I've spoken to aren't thrilled by the thought of losing him. For them, LaMelo represents hope, a reason to watch, to show up to games. He's not just a player. He's a connection to the community. Trading him isn't just a business decision, it's personal, for the fans in the city.
That's what I'm saying. And how many guys in the league can even do what LaMelo does? He's got that rare combo of skill and swagger. Charlotte better think twice before letting him go. If they really believe in him, the move is clear. Add pieces around him. Bring in a legit second option, fix the roster, and see what happens.
Well, Marcus, that's the decision they have to make. Rebuild or restructure. Either way, the clock's ticking with his value this high. It's a pivotal crossroads for the franchise, and one way or another, how they handle it will have a lasting impact.
And man, if I'm LaMelo, I want to see some commitment. Show me this team's serious about winning, or else don't blame me if I start looking elsewhere. And trust, Eric, fans feel the same way. They want a reason to believe, you know?
So Marcus, speaking of franchise-defining choices like Charlotte's, let's talk about the Spurs. Because they just made a bold, calculated move to reshape their future. Adding De'Aaron Fox to pair with Victor Wembanyama, it's not just about now, it's about the long game. What do you make of this emerging pick-and-roll powerhouse in San Antonio?
Man, the Spurs did it again. De'Aaron Fox. Whew, I already love it, Eric. You've got Fox putting up 25 points a night, one of the fastest guys in the league, and now he's running alongside Wemby. Hold up, this is about to be special. The Spurs know how to build around talent. They've been showing us this for decades.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. It's not just talent for today. It's a system geared towards sustainable success. Getting Fox while keeping young assets like Keldon Johnson and Jeremy Sochan? That shows incredible trade strategy. They didn't gut their future to make a splash.
Right. And the Spurs, man, they've always been about that balance. It's like evolution with tradition. You've got Fox's quickness and playmaking joining Wemby's insane versatility. There's this perfect mix of veteran leadership and young energy now. You can feel it, Eric. They're building something real again.
For sure. And Victor Wembanyama, wow, what a foundational piece to build around. Adding someone like Fox takes the pressure off Wemby to do it all. Plus, with Fox's ability to penetrate defenses and create space, it's only going to make Wemby more unstoppable in the half-court.
Exactly. Imagine the high pick and rolls they'll be running, Wemby rolling to the rim or spotting up with those freaky three-pointers he's starting to knock down. And let's not sleep on Fox defensively either, Eric. That dude's a pest on ball. He's got that edge.
And you know, Marcus, looking at the Western Conference landscape, this move isn't just about competing, it's about breaking through. The Spurs are signaling they're done with the rebuild phase. They want to be back in the playoff mix now.
Oh, no doubt. And you know what this feels like? It feels like classic Spurs. They weren't loud during the offseason. No major splashes. Then boom, right before the trade deadline, they unleashed something massive. It's textbook franchise management.
That's the thing about the Spurs. They're so calculated. They held onto their draft picks, stayed under the cap, and when the right moment came, they struck. If this works out, we could be looking at one of the best guard-big combos in the league for years to come.
Years to come, Eric, that's got to be the plan. I mean, look at their history. Tim and Tony, Manu and Kawhi. They know how to create iconic duos. Now, it's Fox and Wemby getting their shot. And honestly, I'm here for it.
It's definitely something to watch, Marcus. The Spurs are positioning themselves as serious players in the West again, and this trade was the statement move they needed to make.
Man, I can't wait to see how this shakes out. Just imagine the excitement for Spurs fans. Playoffs, big games, a team built for the future. This is what the league needs, Eric. Teams making smart, bold moves. And that's it for today. You guys, thanks for rolling with us. Catch you next time on Swish and Tell for more top stories you will only find on thepeachbasket.net.